for him to ask me for help, ask me a question, ask me anything. Because as a TA, I was there to help and serve the students, but he wouldn't. It just instead just kept working away in his little section of the room. Over the next couple of weeks, however, you can see his ability to multitask and his efficiency dramatically improve, impressively independent of our help. I still, of course, reminded him that I was there to help him, but if it's one thing I learned about Keith, he's gonna get it done and done on his own. Take it away, Keith.
All right, my name is Keith Thompson. I'm a junior at William Tennant High School. I'm a part of the TRIP initiative. For my independent research project, I decided to research whether the old expression, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, was really true. Now, I wanted to find this out because I eat an apple a day every day. It's really a part of my life. I really take this expression literally. Every day I eat an apple. So, being such a huge part of my life, I wanted to see how they affected me. Now, apples contain sugar and fiber mostly, but these components are mostly known already. What I wanted to research was the flavonoids, which are what makes the apples really so healthy. If you ever heard that the skin of an apple is the healthiest part, that's because of the flavonoids in it. Flavonoids serve as antioxidants in the body, meaning that they protect the body against diseases. One of the flavonoids that I found in my research was the flavonoid quercetin. So what is quercetin? Well, like I said, it's a flavonoid found in most fruits and vegetables, and it's an antioxidant. But what interested me in quercetin is that it was found to improve brain function. It was found in several studies on rats to prevent chronic stress, relieve oxidative brain damage, and even protect against Alzheimer's. Now, with all these benefits to the brain, I wanted to see how it could affect my mental health and see what was the impact on young brains. So I came up with the experimental question, can quercetin improve brain function? So my hypothesis was that quercetin would improve memory. So to set up this experiment, as you all know, we use fruit flies. So I set up 4 vials with food for the fruit flies with varying amounts of quercetin in them. The first one was a control with no quercetin in it. The second one had about the equivalent of 1 apple a day in it. The third one had about the equivalent of 40 apples a day in it. And the last one had 80 apples. Now, like I said, we tested this on flies, but I wanted to test this on developing brains. So what I did is I tested it on the memory of the larvae, the third instar larvae particularly. These are basically the teenage equivalent of fruit flies. At this stage, they're trying to eat as much food as possible so that they can grow big into pupae and then become fruit flies. So, how do I test the memory of the larva? Well, you can't just take a survey of the larvae. So, larvae must be trained. I used the larval memory assay. Like the Heath mentioned already, they're trained to associate 1 scent with banana and 1 scent with pineapple. And they associate those scents with sugar and no sugar. So the banana equals the sugar, and the pineapple equals no sugar. And in this assay, first they're placed on a plate with no sugar and the pineapple scent. And on this plate, they don't get a reward. And then they get placed on the plate with sugar and the pineapple scent. And they realize that sugar equals banana. And I put them back and forth on these plates 3 times, and then I tested to see if they remembered that banana equals sugar and pineapple equals no sugar. The important part is that there's no sugar on this plate, so if they go to the banana, that means that they remember that banana equals sugar. So, what did I find out from doing this? Well, over the course of 3 experiments, I found that about 40% of the control dose had intact memory. The impact of 1 apple a day had little impact. In fact, it slightly decreased it a little bit. With 40 apples a day, I found that it actually significantly improved the memory. It went up about 20% from the control and 1 apple a day dose. And for the 80 times apple a day, it appeared that it still improved the memory, but it appeared that after 40 times the apples, there's a slight drop off. So, what does this mean? An apple a day does not really affect memory. 40 apples a day does improve memory. Now, realistically, nobody can eat 40 apples a day. So quercetin can be taken as a supplement to actually improve memory. So in the future, when conducting this assay, I would be a lot faster. As Nadia mentioned at the start, I was very slow doing this assay. As the weeks went on, I became a lot faster, and in the future, I would be able to conduct this a lot faster. I'd also be more consistent with my methods. In the past, in like the early experiments, I made some small mistakes along the way, and it made my results a little bit inconsistent. So in the future, I would be more consistent. I'd also like to test more effects of quercetin. I had some left over, and I had a friend of mine try it, and after trying it that day, we think it may have had an effect on digestion. I'd also like to test other flavonoids in apples, as I know they must be better. So, to conclude, an apple a day does not really keep the doctor away, at least for improving your memory. Quercetin in large doses will improve memory, and feeding larvae quercetin will improve their memory. So, my hypothesis was proven correct. Quercetin improves memory. I also like to acknowledge Drs. Alyssa Lystra and Amanda Purdy for accepting me in the program. I also like to thank my trip mates for supporting me and being so helpful all the times I couldn't finish in time. I also like to thank the TAs, Nadia, Matt, and Z, for taking all the pictures that are up here today, such as this one. I also like to thank Mr. Hayo for encouraging me and helping me to apply. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my friends, family, and teachers for encouraging me and supporting me. Any questions?